I just got ready for a Zoom meeting with a very exciting person who I have been paired up with for a mentorship program I'm doing. Okay, that was a really good meeting. I'm on a power high and now I need to think about what to do with all this energy before I go waste my time. I'm wearing a collar attachment to this denim shirt to make it look a bit more country glam. Yeah, that's how I got this look today. The main point we talked about that I wanted to share with you guys was to always have a why in everything that you do and being able to solve a problem that exists. And I think it's really important to always be driven by goals that serve others. One of my last few coffee highs before Ramadan starts. Another thing I've been really thinking about is how I'm going to manage Orange Theory while in Ramadan, because all of their classes are in the exact times of when I'm fasting. So obviously I'll go to class on the days I'm not fasting, but that's not the entire month and I don't want to lose all the muscles that I've built. We're gonna figure that out. On the topic of preparing for Ramadan, one of the main things I like to do ever since I got married was to make samosas in the freezer. It's one of my husband's favorite things he grew up having in his household in Ramadan. And so when we got married, he's like, before Ramadan started, and we'd kind of sit as a family and roll them out and put them in the freezer so that we could fry a few every night with iftar. And I was like, of course we can do that, why not? But since he's super busy, I'm gonna go get the ingredients and get a head start. I'm pretty sure this is something a lot of you do in your cultures too. It's really important as a household to start some traditions that you will eventually carry on into your family, because of course we need to make the holidays special for our future children, future families. Dude, my phone keeps going off. It's so important to make the holidays special for your families, especially living in the United States where we celebrate a lot of the mainstream holidays. It's one of those few moments of the year where you have a holiday to yourself. We are going to make that special. Just having a snack. This is literally the best invention on earth. A low-calorie way to eat hot Cheetos. I love the fact that it's non-GMO, and no, I'm not being paid to talk about hot Cheeto popcorn. We're gonna go to Costco. Mask up. I'm gonna wear this mask that my friend Chinote on Instagram sent. It's really good to wear when you wear hijab because you literally just put it behind your scarf and you're done. And it's satin, so it's super cute. Very luxurious. Okay, I just got to Target and they have this. Do I need this? I don't even know what it's for, but it's so cute. I've been looking for string lights so that I could make a cute, cozy vibe in the house, and I found some at Target actually. Look at these little cute lanterns. I don't know if that would look good indoors though, because this is kind of for a patio, but I'm really debating it. They also have these. Don't think I'm gonna be getting any of those lights because they're a bit too outdoorsy. I'm looking for something more like a simple string light that you can hang on a window in the family room, and it looks like it belongs in a family room. I'm at Costco and I didn't bring a cart. I literally just want to get two things and leave, so let's see if not getting a cart helps. Ooh, string lights. Okay, first mistake was now I want watermelon and I'm gonna have to carry this by hand. Okay, that was a bad idea. I carried so much stuff from Costco without a cart, and I'm gonna go home. Now we're gonna be rolling some feta cheese rolls. And I call it feta cheese rolls just because that's the main ingredient that I'm using, but I know in a lot of other Arab cultures, they use different types of Arab cheeses. But today we're gonna be using a mix of feta and mozzarella. And as I may or may not have mentioned before, a lot of Arab families like to get together and make some appetizers before Ramadan starts. It's just a way of breaking the fast in this time of the year that is very popular amongst a lot of cultures. So first off, I'm gonna be taking out some feta cheese, which I got at Costco. We're going to need one of these spring roll pastry packages that you can find easily in any ethnic store. It was in the freezer for the longest time, so I defrosted it and we'll see how it turns out. Got some mozzarella cheese, parsley. I'll just use like half of this bunch. The easiest way to chop parsley obviously is to kind of align all of the roots. That way you're only getting the leafy ends. You all know this if you make tabbouleh at all in your household. My mom would always make us sit and line all of the parsleys for her so that she could just cut the tabbouleh very easily. Oh, also I went to cooking classes as a kid in Syria and they literally had us sit around and just do this for them. I'm like by no means a professional. I just remembered that we make these in my household too before Ramadan. Like my mom literally was the one who taught me the feta cheese wrap idea. I think it's so funny. I'm literally crediting all of the Arab world and I literally forgot that my own mom makes this at home. Hey mom, I'm making those feta cheese rolls. Do I use egg wash to close it or just water and cornstarch? Verdict is in, we just use water and cornstarch when you roll them. The Arab in me wants to just estimate things, but I know you need to use measurements to be proper. Another half cup, 1.5 cups of feta cheese, that'll do. Now for my mozzarella, 1.5 cups of mozzarella. I just like to go all out and pour enough that would make it feel garlicky. I also really love to make everything spicy for no reason, so we're gonna add some crushed red pepper. And just to your liking, add some salt too, because sometimes I feel like straight up cheese isn't good, but salty cheese is where it's at. Also gonna add some olive oil because you need to add olive oil in everything. Actually, this just makes it easier to mush together. I feel like black pepper always tastes good. I'm putting a warm, damp towel. I'm gonna add a little bit of cornstarch. Like a little bit, not a lot. Put the moist towel on top of the pastries. I'm gonna cut this in half and see how that turns out. Now that I've perfected my method, I'm just gonna keep going along and doing this. I usually sit down and watch a show or something while I'm rolling these, but I'm kind of in a time crunch because I have a meeting after this, so I'm just gonna do these on a whim. You guys wanna know something funny? I'm all done rolling them, but it actually only turned out to be, what is this, 7, 18. So that recipe I gave you is enough to use 9 pieces of pastry paper, not the entire roll. You might wanna double that, triple that, however much you want, but I really wanted these to be like filled with cheese, and so I was like, I'm gonna use all the mixture. But here's the final product. What I'm gonna do is actually take one of them, coat it in a little bit of oil, and stick it in the air fryer and just do a taste test. I typically like to air fry my foods rather than actually deep fry for 2 reasons. First of all, it's much healthier. A lot of times we think that we're gonna be losing weight in Ramadan, but you actually end up eating a lot more fried foods. My second reason is it makes the house smell like fried oil, which I don't like. Now, when you're done making these, the best way to eat them every day for Ramadan is to literally just stick them in a giant freezer bag and pull a few out whenever you want to have dinner, and just air fry them, bake them, or deep fry them as you want. I put the air fryer away because I don't really like to display appliances. I feel like it looks just much cleaner, and thankfully I have the space to store it away. Here we go. Let's choose a juicy one. Woohoo! Oh my god. Okay, this is what 7 minutes in the air fryer looks like. Actually, I'm gonna like make it a little pretty for the photo. Okay, this is what it looks like after 7 minutes in the air fryer. Now for the taste test. Here we go. Bismillah. As I mentioned, these are such a great appetizer to have at the table when you're breaking your fast. Obviously, after you have like water and dates. Let me know if you guys end up making these. I am currently home in St. Louis right now. We have a video shoot, me and my mom, that we're working on, which is really exciting, and you'll actually see that on YouTube in a few weeks. Second of all, my husband's night shifts are during Ramadan, which is great for him because he gets to have coffee at work. He doesn't even have to really fast when he's at work because it's in the middle of the night, but that means we won't be having iftar or suhoor together for at least the first week of Ramadan. So he suggested that I go celebrate that with my family. I already had to be here, so I just extended my stay. I will be back in Pittsburgh next weekend. Anyway, at the moment, I was shooting a campaign for a brand outside, and then it started raining. Spring in St. Louis consists of every weather possible. So that's that. Although I'm not going to be in Pittsburgh during the beginning of Ramadan, I still ordered lights with my husband that we'll set up as soon as I'm back and just create kind of like a nice vibe at home since it's really only us two. Here's what I ordered actually. Oh my god, it was already delivered. So here are the lights I got off of Amazon. They're just the moon and star shape. I think they'll be really nice. Other things I've been doing to prep for Ramadan on my phone is, one, I have a Quran app which I use typically when I want to read Quran. It's called Quran. That's the app I have. What I like about it actually is that it lets you switch the pages horizontally as if you're actually reading a book. I love using Spotify, and on Spotify you can look up different nasheeds. It's kind of like spiritual, religious music. A lot of Muslim countries have their own version of that type of music that is a bit more folklorish. Being Syrian, we have a lot of nasheeds in our culture, especially during Ramadan. It's a time when you want to limit a lot of the distractions and really make good use of your time. So if you're listening to music that has beneficial lyrics, such as nasheeds, that's something that we try to do the whole month. I typically like to go into Spotify and just create a Nasheed playlist. I have one full of some of my favorite artists like Maher, Zain, Sami, Yusuf, and I've also been recently into Turkish Nasheed since I've been watching Ertugrul a lot. Maher Zain actually announced the other day that he'll be releasing a new Nasheed every week during Ramadan, so that's going to be exciting to keep it new because sometimes it tends to get repetitive after a while. My Nasheed playlist is ready to go. We are going to decorate our family's fireplace. First, we need to untangle our Ramadan lights that we had from last year. We finished installing the lights, and now we're going to see how it looks like with the electricity turned on. 3, 2, 1, go! Ta-da! These are the exact same lights I got from my apartment in Pittsburgh. We have it on the first setting, which is a very soft twinkle. Okay, this one is like Ramadan party vibes. I think we're gonna stick to the first or the second one. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, how do these turn on? I think I need a battery. Okay, show me. Oh my god, no.
So annoying.
So annoying. We just finished decorating.
Decided to be a little bit more festive and buy some plates that were in traditionally, you know, Islamic
inspired shapes.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, technically speaking, we don't have anything that's actually assembled.
In Ramadan, we usually have dates, but this year I found some health benefits of putting some Brazilian nuts and walnuts that were raw. And they said in this article I read that the copper and selenium in Brazilian nuts give you a lot of energy throughout the day. So I have these for sahur. 2 different types of dates. There's the ones without the seeds and then this other kind. Ajwa ones are the original ones from Medina. I also found these cookie cutters, and I know it's not necessarily a tradition to make camel-shaped cookies in Ramadan.
We're making our own traditions.
But we live in the US. At first I thought this one was like a coffin shape, but it turned out it was a lantern. You gotta turn it around.
These can double as Halloween.
Yeah, it looked like the coffin where Dracula sleeps, but it's actually just a lantern. They have a mosque, because you know everybody wants to eat a mosque.
We got a camel.
And you know how good camel cookies are. I mean, nothing beats a camel cookie.
We can make it with camel milk.
And then of course, star and moon.
I'll see if I'll make these with Ibrahim soon. As always, you don't really need Ramadan decor to have a happy Ramadan in your life. You know, this is something that I mentioned earlier, that a lot of Muslim families that live in the US and in Western countries, we're always surrounded by holidays where people have elaborate decorations and festivals. The younger kids understand that our holidays are just as important and just as happy and just as festive. If you lived in a Muslim country, yes, you would have a lot more festivities, but since we live as a minority, under 6 million people in this country, we have to make our own environment for our religion and for our holidays. Especially last year with the whole COVID situation, people stayed home and there was really not many mosques that were open for Taraweeh. And you weren't even seeing anyone too. Like traditionally Ramadan, we're always hopping iftar parties. You never really even spend time at home.
So we really needed to make an environment that felt like there was something going on other than just us starving and praying.
And praying, yeah.
And of course reading Quran, but there's needed to be an environment. And so I think all these decorations really boomed last year and people really started getting into it. So, you know, everybody has their own environment and their own ways of celebrating.